So in this video we're going to be looking at the topic of post-condition loops, which is iteration 3 in the AS course. So let's start by tackling the question, what is a post-conditional loop? Well, it's a loop that runs the code within the iteration construct first, and then it tests to see if it should run again. And this means, this is the contrast to preconditional loop, that the program code has to run at least once. It might run once and then stop, or it might run many times, but it has to run at least once. So let's see how we might implement this in pseudocode. Okay, let's start by declaring a variable and setting that variable to 0. In pseudocode, for a post-condition loop, we create a repeat, and then we do the task, or we run the code that executes within the loop, and then we have our test at the end, and we say that we'll continually repeat until that count is equal to 10. So the code that's inside the pseudocode simply just adds 1 to count and then outputs it on the screen. So if we had a quick look at what would happen in a trace table, we would start with count being set to 0, but nothing being output, because count immediately goes and becomes 1 inside the repeat, and then we can output 1. Count becomes 2, we output 2, 3, 3, 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 6 and 6, 7 and 7, etc., 8 and 8, 9 and 9. And then when count becomes 10, we output 10, because we're testing. Once we increment counter, we output it, and then we test if count is equal to 10. And so we end up with an output which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so with Python, you won't be surprised to hear that, yes, you cannot implement a repeat until post-conditional loop in Python. You just have to use a while loop instead. So let's look at an example problem. So we had to create a program that repeatedly shows the message quit Y or N until the user enters Y. Using a post-condition loop, we can declare the variable and then repeat instantly, and then we output the question, we ask for the answer, and then we finish with until answer equals Y. And that way, if the user enters anything that's not a Y, it will repeatedly ask quit and wait for an answer again. If we look at the pseudocode, if they look at the Python implementation, you can't use post-conditional loop structures in Python. You can only use preconditional loops. So our output looks slightly different. So again, we declare the variable as before, but then we start the program by asking the question and getting the answer from the user. And then we test the answer to make sure that it's not what we're looking for. And if it's not what we're looking for, we ask the question again. So this not, as opposed to the if something is true, we're testing something isn't true with while loops. So you just have to remember and test for things that you don't want to see, as opposed to things that you do want to see. But that's the main difference. So with Python, if you have loops, you only have fixed loops with for loops, or you have preconditional loops, which are while loops. But with pseudocode, you can have fixed loops, you can have preconditional, and you can have post-conditional loops.